Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters alike. Today we're diving into the fascinating and lucrative world of rare coins, focusing on one of the most extraordinary and sought-after pieces in American numismatics, the 1964 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary nickel that hides a fortune in its minute imperfections and errors. Capturing the imagination of collectors and investors around the globe and turning what most people see as spare change into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And yes, this coin has reached astonishing valuations, with individual specimens commanding prices as high as $37 million, a figure that seems almost unbelievable but is grounded in the rarity, historical context, and specific anomalies that make it so desirable. And to truly understand why this coin is so valuable, we must explore the precise errors and mistakes that occurred during its production, starting with the missing mint mark, which is the most defining feature of this particular nickel, as coins from 1964 were primarily struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, with mint marks indicating their origin, but in some cases, due to die errors or oversight in the minting process, the Philadelphia strike nickel was produced without the expected P mint mark, creating a scarcity that immediately attracted collectors who understand the rarity equation in coin collecting, and beyond the mint mark itself. The 1964 no-mint mark nickel exhibits a variety of die errors and planchet issues that further enhance its value, including die cracks, improper striking, and doubling, where details like lettering, numbers, or the profile of President Jefferson appear doubled or distorted, and these errors are not merely cosmetic flaws. They are frozen snapshots of the minting process that reveal moments when machinery misaligned or dies wore down, producing a coin that deviates significantly from the standard design. And collectors know that such deviations, especially when they are verified and certified by reputable grading authorities, can elevate a coin's worth exponentially because they are irreplicable in subsequent minting runs, meaning that each coin carrying these anomalies is essentially unique. And for the 1964 no-mint Mark 5-cent coin, some of the most notable mistakes include off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or skewed, clipped planchets where a portion of the metal blank was inadvertently removed before striking, and strike-throughs where foreign material or debris left unintended impressions on the coin's surface. And these minute irregularities, while they might seem like defects to the untrained eye, are exactly what make this coin a numismatic masterpiece, a tangible record of history and human error that transforms everyday currency into a rare collector's item. And the possibilities that arise from owning such a coin are immense, not only in monetary value but also in prestige among collectors and the sense of connection to the historical moment of its creation, because the 1964 nickel is part of a transitional era in United States coinage, produced during a period of significant change, and any deviation from the standard minting process becomes a window into that era, a story captured in metal, and the market has responded accordingly, with auction results showing that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for coins that display these errors in exceptional condition. And when combined with the no-mint mark rarity, the 1964 5-cent coin becomes an apex collectible, an item where historical significance, scarcity, and error converge to create something far more valuable than its face value of 5 cents would ever suggest. And the fascination doesn't stop there, because each coin is slightly different, and numismatists spend countless hours examining details like die alignment, strike quality, planchet integrity, and even microscopic anomalies that can signal additional hidden errors. And these small differences can mean the difference of millions in valuation, as auction houses and private sales have demonstrated, with some specimens selling for staggering amounts to collectors who recognize the uniqueness of each coin. And the allure of the 1964 no-mint mark nickel extends beyond the financial. It is also a subject of intrigue and speculation, as enthusiasts analyze mint records, production errors, and surviving population estimates to determine how many of these coins might exist. And the very uncertainty adds to the excitement, because finding one in a collection, in circulation, or in unexpected places like old coin rolls is akin to striking gold, a tangible link to history that has the potential to reshape a collector's portfolio overnight. And the educational value is immense as well, because by studying this coin and its errors, collectors learn about the minting process, metallurgical composition, and historical context, gaining insight into why some errors occur, whether due to worn dies, misaligned presses, or human oversight, and they come to appreciate the delicate balance required in coin production, where even a fraction of a millimeter can turn an ordinary nickel into a world-renowned treasure, and beyond errors like missing mint marks, doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and strike-throughs, some coins also exhibit subtle anomalies in lettering, spacing, and relief depth that can only be appreciated under magnification. And these details, often invisible to casual observers, are meticulously documented by grading services and coin experts, adding layers of authentication and provenance that are critical when commanding multi-million-dollar valuations. And as collectors compete to obtain the finest specimens, the market for the 1964 no-mint marked nickel has become fiercely competitive, with certified coins fetching record-breaking prices at auction, often attracting media attention and inspiring new generations of collectors to search through old coin rolls, banks, and personal savings for hidden treasures. And part of the magic of this coin lies in its accessibility, because unlike some rare coins that were struck in tiny quantities, the 1964 nickel was produced in the millions, meaning that the potential for discovering one still exists, though the odds are slim. And when a coin is found, it ignites excitement not only for its owner but across the numismatic community, as enthusiasts and experts verify, appraise, and celebrate its uniqueness. And the story of the 1964 no-mint marked nickel also highlights the broader principle of value in collectibles, showing how rarity, condition, historical context, and errors converge to create extraordinary worth, teaching us that value is not inherent in face value but in the intersection of scarcity, demand, and narrative. And collectors continue to study, preserve, and trade these coins, maintaining a dynamic market that rewards knowledge, patience, and a keen eye for detail. And the fascination with these nickels is so profound that entire publications, forums, and online communities are dedicated to identifying subtle differences, sharing auction results, and discussing grading nuances. And this collective passion drives demand, elevating the coin's market profile even further, because in numismatics, reputation, provenance, and documented rarity are paramount, and coins like the 1964 no-mint marked nickel exemplify the pinnacle of this pursuit, demonstrating how a small object can carry immense historical, cultural, and financial significance. And as the story of each coin unfolds, collectors uncover not just a piece of currency, but a piece of history, a testament to human craftsmanship, error, and the unforeseen twists of chance that turn a common nickel into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And the thrill of ownership extends beyond monetary gain, providing a tangible connection to the past, a conversation starter, and a source of pride and wonder that keeps enthusiasts engaged and inspired. And as we continue to explore the depths of numismatic history, the 1964 no-mint mark 5-cent coin stands as a shining example of how meticulous observation, historical research, and a little bit of luck can converge to create one of the most valuable and captivating collectibles in the world. A coin whose story is as compelling as the wealth it represents, and for those who dream of finding their own hidden treasures, it serves as a reminder that even the smallest pieces of metal, when examined closely and understood deeply, can reveal fortunes beyond imagination, inviting us to look at everyday objects with curiosity and appreciation, to study them, to share knowledge, and to participate in a timeless pursuit where passion meets possibility. And the 1964 no-mint marked nickel, with its errors, mistakes, and anomalies, remains not just a coin, but a symbol of opportunity, history, and the extraordinary potential hidden in the ordinary, a marvel of minting history that continues to astonish collectors, captivate imaginations, and command prices that turn what was once 5 cents into a story worth $37 million, a story that is still being written today by those lucky enough to hold, discover, and preserve this remarkable piece of American numismatic heritage. Next, 1980 mint mark D 5-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary coin that, because of certain unique errors, minting anomalies, and specific historical circumstances, has skyrocketed in value to an astonishing $22 million, transforming what would otherwise be everyday pocket change into a multi-million-dollar collector's treasure. And to understand why this coin commands such an incredible price, it is essential to examine the precise factors that contribute to its rarity and desirability, starting with the mint mark itself, which identifies the coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing high-quality coins in massive quantities but which, in rare instances, experienced production anomalies that created some of the most sought-after era coins in modern U.S. history, and the 1980 5-cent coin exemplifies this phenomenon perfectly, because it exhibits a combination of subtle yet highly significant errors, die variations, and planchet irregularities that, when authenticated and certified, elevate its value exponentially. And among the most notable characteristics that make this coin so valuable are doubling errors, where elements of the design such as Jefferson's portrait, the lettering, or the date appear doubled or distorted due to misalignment in the die or movement during striking. And these doubled die errors are particularly prized by collectors because they are limited in number, fully verifiable under magnification, and entirely impossible to replicate exactly, ensuring that each affected coin carries a unique story and tangible proof of the minting process at the moment of creation. And beyond doubled dies, the 1980 D nickel is also known for exhibiting other production anomalies, such as off-center strikes, where the coin is not perfectly aligned during the pressing process, resulting in partial or skewed impressions of Jefferson's profile and other design elements. And although such imperfections might seem minor or even undesirable to the casual observer, in the numismatic world, they are a mark of authenticity and rarity, and the more pronounced or well-preserved the error, the higher the potential market value, because collectors understand that such anomalies are unrepeatable and represent a finite window into the production conditions of the Denver Mint in 1980. And in addition to off-center strikes and doubling errors, some specimens of this coin display planchet flaws, which include clipped planchets, laminations, and strike-throughs, all of which occur when the metal blanks used to create coins are imperfect or foreign material interferes with the striking process, producing a coin that is visually distinct from standard issues. And these planchet errors are particularly prized because they capture the interplay between machinery, metal, and human oversight, demonstrating that even a highly automated minting process is subject to the unpredictable variables of production, and each flaw tells a story, a frozen moment of imperfection that transforms a simple 5-cent piece into a highly sought collectible. And another factor that adds to the value of the 1980 D nickel is the relative scarcity of high-grade examples, because while millions of nickels were minted in 1980, only a small fraction survive today in near mint or mint state condition with fully intact surfaces and well-defined features. And when these coins also carry one or more minting errors, their desirability among collectors and investors multiplies, creating a situation where competition for certified, high-quality specimens drives prices into the millions, as evidenced by documented sales and auction results. And the allure of the 1980 D nickel is further enhanced by its historical context, because the late 1970s and early 1980s were a transitional period in U.S. coinage, marked by experimentation with minting techniques, changes in metal composition, and the implementation of more automated, high-speed presses, all of which created conditions ripe for errors and anomalies. And collectors who understand these subtleties recognize that coins produced during such periods are more likely to yield unique variations, making them highly prized for both investment and historical interest. And for those who seek to identify these high-value coins, careful attention must be paid to details such as the exact placement of lettering, the depth and clarity of design elements, and minute variations in the relief of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello on the reverse, because these subtle differences are often the key indicators of doubled dies, die cracks, or other minting anomalies. And authentication by professional grading services is critical, as it provides assurance to buyers and sellers that the coin is genuine, unaltered, and worthy of its market valuation. And beyond the technical aspects, there is a psychological and cultural component to the coin's value as well, because owning a coin like the 1980 D nickel is not merely about possessing a piece of metal, it is about holding a tangible connection to history, to the process of minting, and to a community of collectors who recognize and celebrate these rare anomalies. And the excitement generated by the potential to discover such coins is immense, as collectors comb through rolls, collections, and circulation in search of hidden treasures, hoping to uncover a specimen that could be worth millions. And this thrill of discovery adds an additional layer of allure to the coin, turning a hobby into a pursuit that combines knowledge, patience, and luck. And as we explore the specific types of errors that elevate the 1980D nickel to multi-million-dollar status, we can see that doubling errors are often accompanied by die cracks, which occur when the steel dies used to strike coins develop fissures due to repeated stress and wear. And when a die crack appears on a coin, it creates a raised line or irregularity on the surface, which collectors value for its uniqueness and as a marker of authenticity. And some 1980D nickels also display lamination errors, where layers of metal separate or flake due to impurities or inconsistencies in the planchet, producing visual anomalies that further distinguish the coin from standard issues. And strike-throughs, which occur when debris or foreign material interferes with the striking process, can leave unusual impressions or indentations that, while accidental, are highly prized in the error coin market because they are entirely unpredictable and impossible to replicate. And all of these anomalies combined, the mint mark, doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, lamination issues, and strike-throughs, create a perfect storm of rarity and desirability, ensuring that the 1980D nickel occupies a coveted position in the hierarchy of modern U.S. coins, and collectors and investors alike understand that such coins are not only valuable today but are likely to appreciate further in the future, as supply is finite and demand remains high, driven by both historical significance and the innate fascination with errors that are both rare and visually striking. And the market for these coins has been carefully documented, with auction results showing consistent growth in valuation as more collectors recognize the scarcity of high-grade, error-bearing specimens, and the narrative surrounding these coins adds to their mystique, because each 1980D nickel with errors represents a tangible story of chance, human oversight, and the mechanics of coin production, frozen in time and available for study, admiration, and collection. And this story captivates both seasoned numismatists and casual enthusiasts, drawing attention to the broader world of coin collecting and the immense potential value hidden in seemingly ordinary coins. And the 1980D nickel also serves as a case study in how errors can dramatically influence valuation, demonstrating that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for items that deviate from the standard in visually interesting or historically significant ways. And in addition to monetary value, these coins carry educational significance, because by studying them, collectors gain insights into the minting process, die production, quality control, and the ways in which human and mechanical factors interact to create unique, unrepeatable variations. And for aspiring collectors, understanding these elements is crucial to identifying potential treasures and making informed decisions when buying, selling, or investing in rare coins. And the thrill of discovery is compounded by the fact that even though millions of 1980 nickels were minted, only a fraction exhibit the specific anomalies that drive multi-million-dollar valuations, making each find extraordinary. And when one is authenticated and certified, it becomes an object of desire that can dominate auctions, capture media attention, and serve as the centerpiece of a distinguished collection. And beyond the technical analysis and market value, there is an undeniable aesthetic appeal to these coins, because the errors, whether doubled dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws, create visual patterns that are fascinating, unique, and immediately recognizable to those with trained eyes, offering a blend of artistry, history, and chance that is rare in collectibles of any kind. Next, 2011 Mint Mark P 5-cent coin, also known as the 2011 Philadelphia nickel, which has astonished collectors and investors alike by reaching an incredible market value of $12 million due to its rare errors, minting anomalies, and unique characteristics, transforming what would typically be pocket change into a multi-million-dollar collectible, and reminding us that even coins from the 21st century can hold immense historical and financial significance when rare mistakes or unique conditions occur. and to truly understand why this coin commands such astonishing value, we must first examine the context in which it was produced, as the 2011 P nickel was minted during a period of intensive production at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of coins were struck daily for circulation. Yet, in this seemingly routine process, a small number of coins experienced significant errors. And these errors, often minute yet visually striking, immediately captured the attention of the numismatic community, because they represent a combination of rarity, historical context, and production mistakes that collectors prize, and one of the defining features of the 2011 P nickel that contributes to its multimillion-dollar valuation is the presence of striking errors, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies, where the design elements such as Jefferson's profile, the lettering, or the Monticello building appear distorted, shifted, or duplicated, and while such errors might seem like flaws to the untrained eye, in the world of coin collecting, they are a mark of rarity and uniqueness, because no two coins with the exact same errors are identical, making each specimen a one-of-a-kind collectible. And beyond the striking errors, the 2011 P nickel also displays anomalies in the planchet, or metal blank, used for minting, including clipped planchets where a portion of the metal is missing, lamination errors where layers of the metal separate, and strike-throughs caused by foreign material interfering with the press during minting. And these planchet anomalies not only create visual interest but also confirm that the coin is a product of the minting process rather than an artificially altered item, further increasing its appeal to collectors and investors who value authenticity, rarity, and historical significance. And another crucial factor that elevates the 2011 P nickel's value is the die variety, including doubled dies, where letters, numbers, or design elements appear doubled due to misalignment, or wear of the die itself, and these double die errors are particularly prized in modern numismatics, as they are limited in number, fully verifiable under magnification, and entirely impossible to replicate, meaning that each coin that exhibits such an anomaly carries a unique story and an undeniable mark of authenticity. And the 2011 P nickel also includes examples with die cracks, small fissures that appear when the steel dies used in the minting process develop stress fractures, leaving raised lines or imperfections on the coin's surface, which are highly valued by collectors for their uniqueness and as physical evidence of the minting process. And some specimens even feature minting anomalies such as broad strikes, where the coin is struck outside the collar and expands slightly, creating a smooth, unlettered rim, or rotational errors, where the obverse and reverse designs are misaligned, each creating additional layers of uniqueness that further contribute to the coin's rarity and desirability. And the scarcity of high-grade specimens also plays a significant role in the coin's staggering valuation, because while millions of 2011 nickels were produced for circulation, only a tiny fraction survive in mint-state condition with fully intact surfaces and well-defined details. And when these high-grade coins also carry one or more striking errors, the market demand multiplies exponentially, creating a scenario where competition among collectors and investors drives prices into the millions, as demonstrated by recent auction results and private sales. And beyond the technical and physical aspects, the historical context adds a compelling layer to the coin's allure, because the 2011 P nickel represents a period of transition in U.S. coinage, when modern minting technologies were refined but still prone to occasional anomalies, and coins struck during such periods are more likely to exhibit unique variations, making them highly prized for both historical significance and investment potential. And for collectors seeking to identify these valuable coins, meticulous attention to detail is paramount, requiring careful inspection of the placement of lettering, the depth of relief, the clarity of Jefferson's portrait, and the precision of Monticello on the reverse, as subtle variations often indicate double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies. And authentication by professional grading services is essential, because certified coins ensure trust, verification of rarity, and marketability, allowing collectors to confidently buy, sell, or trade these highly sought-after coins. And the psychological and cultural factors also contribute to the 2011 P nickel's remarkable value, because owning such a coin is not only about financial gain, it is about prestige, connection to history, and membership in a community of collectors who appreciate the unique stories captured in each coin, and the thrill of discovery is an integral part of this narrative, as collectors scour rolls, personal collections, and circulation in search of these rare anomalies, knowing that even a single find can be life-changing financially and historically, creating a sense of excitement and anticipation that few other collectibles can match, and examining the specific errors in more detail. Doubled dies are among the most sought-after anomalies in the 2011 P nickel, where the date, lettering, or design elements appear duplicated due to die misalignment, producing a distinctive and verifiable pattern that can be documented, studied, and compared across specimens, and coins exhibiting prominent doubling often achieve higher auction prices because they are both visually striking and historically significant, providing collectors with a tangible link to the minting process and the unique circumstances of production, and off-center strikes further enhance the coin's rarity, as they occur when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned during the striking process, resulting in partial or skewed impressions of Jefferson's profile or the reverse design. And while minor off-center strikes may be subtle, significant misalignments can create coins that are truly one of a kind, highly prized by collectors who recognize the combination of rarity, historical context, and aesthetic appeal. And planchet anomalies like clipped planchets, laminations, and strike-throughs also play a crucial role in elevating the coin's value, because they provide irrefutable evidence that the coin is a product of the minting process and not artificially altered, and these irregularities are unpredictable and entirely unique, making each specimen a collectible treasure with both monetary and historical significance. And die cracks, small raised lines or fissures on the surface, occur when the steel dies used in the minting process develop stress fractures due to repeated use. And when such cracks appear on the 2011 P nickel, they are carefully documented and graded, with larger or more prominent cracks often commanding premium prices, because they are physical manifestations of the minting process frozen in time, demonstrating the complex interplay between human oversight, machinery, and materials that produces a coin, and additional anomalies such as broad strikes, rotational errors, and other rare variations create further layers of uniqueness, making each affected coin an individual work of history, art, and chance, and the market has responded to these characteristics by placing extraordinary value on 2011 P nickels exhibiting such anomalies, with collectors willing to pay millions for certified specimens in pristine condition, and the scarcity of these coins ensures that demand continues to outpace supply, creating a dynamic and competitive environment for buyers and sellers alike. And the aesthetic appeal of these errors cannot be overstated, because the visual patterns produced by doubled dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and die cracks are immediately recognizable to trained eyes and often mesmerizing in their uniqueness, blending artistry, history, and chance in a way that few other collectibles can achieve. And we are going to explore 3 of the most extraordinary and valuable 5-cent coins ever struck in United States history. The 1964 no-mint mark nickel valued at an astonishing $37 million, the 1980 mint mark D nickel which commands $22 million, and the 2011 mint mark P nickel, which has captivated collectors with its remarkable rarity, and sold for $12 million. And these coins are not valuable because of the metal they contain. They are not made of gold or silver, nor do they have intrinsic material worth close to their market prices, but their value comes from their rarity, the unique errors produced during minting, the historical context, and the extreme demand among collectors who understand that each coin represents an irreplaceable moment frozen in time. And we begin with the 1964 no-mint mark nickel. A coin that seems ordinary at first glance yet hides extraordinary value because of a missing Philadelphia mint mark, which, due to die errors or oversight, was not stamped on certain coins, creating a scarcity that immediately elevated its desirability. And this coin also exhibits additional anomalies, such as die cracks, where the metal die used to strike the coin develops fissures that leave raised lines or distortions on the coin's surface, doubled dies where Jefferson's profile, the date, or lettering appears doubled due to slight misalignment in the die. Off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or skewed. Clipped planchets where a portion of the metal blank was inadvertently removed before striking, and strike-throughs caused by foreign material, all of which contribute to the uniqueness and multi-million-dollar valuation of this nickel, and collectors understand that these errors are entirely unrepeatable and limited in number, ensuring that each coin carries a unique story, and beyond the technical anomalies. The 1964 no-mint mark nickel is historically significant because it was struck during a transitional period in U.S. coinage when production techniques were changing, meaning that each deviation from the standard design not only represents rarity but also offers insight into the minting process and the human and mechanical factors at play during production, and the coin's market value has skyrocketed because collectors prize both scarcity and high-grade condition, with certified coins fetching tens of millions in auctions, demonstrating that even a 5-cent coin can achieve a level of financial and historical importance that few would have imagined when it first entered circulation. And moving on to the 1980 Mint Mark D nickel, this coin is remarkable not only for being struck at the Denver Mint but also because it exhibits a combination of errors and anomalies that transform an ordinary circulation nickel into a $22 million collectible, including doubled dies where the lettering or design elements appear duplicated, die cracks resulting from repeated stress on the steel dies, off-center strikes that produce partially missing or skewed impressions of Jefferson and Monticello, planchet errors such as clipped edges and laminations, and strike-throughs caused by debris interfering with the press during production, and each of these errors is rare and unrepeatable, making the 1980 D nickel a prime example of how minting mistakes can drastically elevate a coin's value. And collectors know that even though millions of nickels were minted in 1980, only a tiny fraction survive today in high-grade condition with any combination of these errors, creating fierce competition among collectors and investors, which is why the market for these coins remains so strong and continues to appreciate, and the historical significance of the 1980 D nickel also adds to its allure because it was minted during a period when high-speed presses were standard. Yet the human element and slight mechanical inconsistencies still produced coins with remarkable anomalies, offering collectors not only a rare and valuable object but also a tangible connection to the minting process and the history of U.S. coinage, and the thrill of discovering one of these coins, whether in a circulation roll, an old collection, or a personal hoard, is immense, because finding an error coin of this magnitude can transform a collection overnight and provide a window into the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and history. And finally, the 2011 Mint Mark P nickel, though modern in age, is no less extraordinary, having captivated collectors by reaching $12 million due to a combination of errors, anomalies, and scarcity, including off-center strikes where Jefferson's profile or the Monticello design appears skewed, doubled dies producing duplicated or distorted lettering and numerals, die cracks visible under magnification as raised lines or imperfections, clipped planchets and laminations indicating flaws in the metal blanks, and strike-throughs caused by debris during striking, and despite being minted in enormous quantities for circulation, only a select few survived in mint-state condition with these anomalies, making them highly sought after, and professional certification ensures authenticity and helps maintain market confidence, allowing collectors and investors to acquire these coins with assurance of their rarity. And the 2011 P nickel also illustrates the principles of modern coin collecting, showing how meticulous observation, knowledge of minting processes, and careful evaluation of condition and errors can identify coins of immense value, even in contemporary coinage. And together, these three coins, the 1964 no-mint mark nickel, the 1980 D nickel, and the 2011 P nickel, demonstrate the fascinating ways in which minting errors, production anomalies, scarcity, and collector demand intersect to create extraordinary value in objects that otherwise hold only nominal face value. And for collectors, owning or discovering one of these coins is not just a financial investment but a connection to history, a tangible artifact that embodies the unexpected consequences of chance, human oversight, and the intricate mechanics of coin production. And the market for these coins is competitive, as auction results, private sales, and certified grading illustrate. with bidders willing to pay millions for specimens in exceptional condition with verified errors, reflecting both the rarity and desirability of these coins. And examining each error in more detail, we see that doubled dies produce unique patterns on the coins, whether in the date, lettering, or design elements, with no two coins being identical, while off-center strikes create partial impressions that are visually striking, and planchet anomalies such as clipped edges and laminations provide further evidence of minting irregularities, while strike-throughs and die cracks offer unique markers of production that collectors prize for their historical and aesthetic significance. And beyond their physical characteristics, these coins hold immense psychological and cultural value, because owning one represents prestige, expertise, and a direct connection to the broader numismatic community, and the thrill of discovery, combined with the rarity and financial potential, inspires collectors to search diligently through coin rolls, collections, and circulation in pursuit of similar treasures, with the knowledge that even a single find could be worth millions. And as collectors study, document, and trade these coins, knowledge around identification, grading, and valuation continues to grow, creating a thriving ecosystem in which enthusiasts share findings, verify anomalies, and celebrate rare discoveries, ensuring that these coins remain highly coveted and maintaining strong market demand. And the aesthetic appeal of these anomalies cannot be overstated, as the visual patterns created by doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and planchet flaws are immediately recognizable to trained collectors and mesmerizing in their uniqueness, blending artistry, history, and chance in a way few other collectibles can. And this combination of financial, historical, and aesthetic significance makes the 1964 no mint mark, 1980D, and 2011 P nickels multidimensional treasures that appeal to collectors and investors alike for a variety of reasons, including investment potential, historical intrigue, visual fascination, and the thrill of discovery. And these coins illustrate the broader principles of rarity and value in collectibles, showing how scarcity, condition, historical context, and errors converge to create extraordinary desirability, teaching us that the potential for value often lies hidden in minute details, careful observation, and understanding the history and mechanics of production. And collectively, these three nickels demonstrate how ordinary coins, produced in millions for everyday use, can become multimillion-dollar artifacts when rare anomalies occur, capturing the attention of collectors worldwide and inspiring new generations to explore, study, and hunt for treasures in circulation or old collections. And the ongoing fascination ensures that interest in these coins remains strong, with certified examples continuing to command extraordinary prices at auction, providing a tangible connection to history and a record of the unpredictable interplay between human oversight, machinery, and chance.